I have so much love for you and appreciation. You've helped me in so many ways to expand my mind, my spirit, to realize and appreciate that this isn't all there is. To stay in the vortex as much as I can. To manifest some amazing things, to live a successful life. To stay sober, which for an English guy, that is absolutely incredible. Impossible sometimes. And I want to thank you so much. I love the fact that you've helped me and taught me how to be in that vortex, to be a part of the source energy that I'm so aware of now. I also love being human. I love it. I love the physicality. I love the things that I can manifest and appreciate, and I'm so happy that I'm human too. With being human, am I doing okay?
AKA but.
With being human, for me, comes this fear sometimes that's crippling sometimes, and I'm eager, and I would love to learn from you how to take that fear and use it to my advantage.
The only way you can use fear to your advantage is to understand what it is. Okay. And it is an in-the-moment indication that your active thought does not agree with the active thought of the source within you, period. That's the only way you can use fear. Understand what it is. It's an indicator showing discordant opinions is the best way. In other words, the source within you knows one thing, and in that moment, you're believing something else. And fear is what you feel when you're off.
How do I catch it? Because sometimes it takes a hold of me, and before I know it, I'm in a spiral.
Well, we would like it if you never got to that point, because by the time your discord is prominent enough and practiced enough that it is indicated by fear, you've got quite a lot of construction of thought going, and it's not the easiest thing to just turn away from. So the key to being able to effectively deal with or eliminate fear is not to get there to begin with. Now, hear us. That sounds like a non-answer, or you can't get there from there, but it's the things that you do. In other words, today, people in this room, we're still ringing a little bit. Today, people in this room are constructing pathways that will eventually lead them to a fearful thought. So if they catch themselves in the construction of a thought way that's leading them to frustration, then they won't ever make it down the highway to the fear. So the key is to catch it earlier and to do your best to diffuse it whenever you feel it. But the attitude or the belief that I must deal with it, that just keeps constructing it more and more and more and more and more. So talk to us, if you want to, about a subject that strikes fear, that causes fear to surface within you. What's the common thought that you're thinking when fear is there?
Well, first of all, I get body sensations. I shake, I go red. Stage fright. A fear of failure, I guess.
All right, so let's break it down a little bit. So, stage fright, fear. So, what's the thought that you're thinking? Or let's go even more basic. What is the basis? What's going on in that moment that is the nucleus or the growing ground for a fearful thought. You're performing in front of critics who you worry or fear will not find you pleasing. And so you're turning yourself over to someone else's evaluation.
Yes.
Well, that's scary.
Yes.
We can see why anyone would feel fear when they are putting themselves out for opinions of uncontrollable minds. Because, in other words, your inner being never does that.
Right.
So what you're saying is, here I am and I hope you'll like me, but I have no idea into what kind of knot I need to twist myself so that you will like me.
Yes.
And the fear that you're feeling, what you're calling fear, you're assigning the label of fear, and you think you're giving it another label called stage fright. We would give it entirely different labels. We would say, fear in this instance is what you feel when you turn over evaluation to anything other than your stance between where you stand and what you want. In other words, if you were to take control of that situation, so let's say you did some pre-paving, you thought about it in advance, you got into the vortex and then you thought about it, you got into the vortex and then you made the appointment for the interview, you got in the vortex and then you conducted the interview. So then your mindset would be, I am really good at what I do, and I'm getting better every day. And I want to match up with projects that are really pleasing to me, pleasing to everyone with whom I'm co-creating. And this project may be such a project, or it may not be. And I'm here in this interview, interviewing you really for me to find out if what you've got going on is a match to who I am. I'm not really here to twist myself into a pretzel of being just the right thing for anyone else. I'm here because here I am learning and growing and loving my craft and getting better at it every day, and so wanting to succeed at it, and in many ways already succeeding at it. This is who I am, here I be. And we promise you, not a particle of fear would rear its ugly head if you take the time to line up with who you are. Now, no jitters. Jitters happen when someone is not connected with the resources of source. Flushing happens when someone's not in control of their physical apparatus because they're not connected to the resources of source, you see. So if we were expressing the words that you expressed, if we were sitting in your physical shoes, our story would have gone something like this. Abraham, I seem to have a problem when I don't take the time to line up with who I am, who I really am, and I'm out there on the raw and ragged edge. I don't seem to have all of the resources of source backing me up. Anything you could suggest? Yeah, get in the vortex first. You see. And understand that fear that you feel, that fear is always a diminishment of connection. And you can blame it on anything you want. You can say, well, these are big wigs, or this is a high profile experience, or this is really important to me, or if I got this, it would really mean a lot to me. And we say lovingly, blah, 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 because there's really only ever one thing to consider. Am I in alignment with who I am? So what you want to do, you want to begin reminding yourself of how far you've come and how much you know and how good you are at your craft. Plus, you got something else going that people at the very top often have going, but it's something that most of the people on their way don't learn as early as you've learned it, and that is how to tap into the resources of all that you are so that you give them the full functioning. In other words, the best part of what you're doing is what comes through you creatively. They can't hand you something and you learn it and memorize it and make your mark. In other words, what flows through you, that's the true creativity. And when you're in alignment and that's what you display, we promise you the very best interview that you will ever give is the one that you give from your place of alignment. And they will all be saying, don't know what I'm feeling here, but whatever it is, I want some more of that. Because when you present yourself in alignment with who you are, you present the unlimited potential that is you. The best that an interview or an opportunity to show your stuff in any moment in time with critics or judges watching you gives you, the best that gives you is just the best that you can offer with whatever lame thing they're putting in front of you. And often it is pretty darn lame. In other words, there's really very, very little of substance there for you to work with. But when you are in alignment, so that what you're presenting to them far exceeds what's happening in this moment in time, then they understand your potential. And it's your potential that they're looking for, not what you can do with this lame thing that they've put before you right here and now. Yes. They're always looking for your potential. And your potential isn't there unless you're in the vortex, you see. Ever. Not even close. And fear simply means you're not in the vortex.
Thank you so much. Thank you.